Good afternoon, Bangalore, and I would like to, at the outset, thank Brewers World Conclave for giving Christian Hansen this opportunity to share some of our smart beverage solution. Most of you sitting here would not know Christian Hansen as per se. We are almost 150 years old company based out of Copenhagen, Denmark. And in India, we have been here for last almost more than a decade, to be precise, almost 15, 16 years, operating out of Mumbai. Our core strength is fermentation. So we have fermentation technology for fresh dairy. That's for your fermenting your milk, making your dairy beverages, making cheese. We also have been into the wine space, making technology or solutions for making wine. And then we extended ourselves into coming up into the brewing industry as well. So to give you a bit of an overview, we believe that nature is the best source of having the right knowledge, information, and deriving innovations from. And we, as Christian Hansen, are the leaders in the bioscience space. So there's a company called, a research organization called Corporate Knights based out of Canada, Toronto. And they have been doing the research every year in understanding which are the world's most sustainable company across various industry. And I take pride in saying that Christian Hansen has been continuously for last 5 years, been rated as the world's most sustainable company within the bioscience segment. We have more than 40,000 bank of cultures, bacterias, which we take and innovate to give different solutions for the industry. And when we talk about this 40,000 bacteria, we are the world's largest culture bank. We also have been associated with the institutes like the research center in Germany called Westhofen, where we have got their strains into Christian Hansen Bank for producing the lagers and the ale. Our solutions cut across all the segments within the industry, right from the farm to the fork. So we have solutions for, of course, the dairy. We have the solutions for the agri-based industry. We have solutions for the pharma, and now also to the various fermented beverages. Coming specific to the audience here and suiting to the needs of the people over here, I would like to quickly drive you through what's happening around the world within the non-alcoholic or the low-alcoholic beer space. And that could be one of the new innovations that we are seeing for the brewing industry. It's been very evident, and most of you would know that today mindful drinking and also the health and wellness as one of the key drivers for people to, or the consumers to evaluate something new which is much more suitable to them. And especially when you look at the Gen Z, they are looking at some healthy option. Drink and drive is, of course, a challenge. In India, I was just talking to somebody who just walked up to our stall, and they said in India we have so many days, from a festival perspective, and then alcohol consumption becomes really a taboo to consume on that day. So having something which is alcohol-free would surely help the consumers to still be feeling inclusive and not being left out. So being inclusive is something which is the trend that is going on, and that, of course, is helping these product categories or this category to really surface or move up the ladder. We have seen in the global market, the low alcoholic or alcoholic-free beer are expected to grow at a rate of 5 to 8% CAGR. And of course, 2020 was the COVID time. That's where the brewing industry, the alcohol industry really got impacted, and we see a dip there. But over a period of time, there's a very positive outlook for the non-alcoholic as well as low alcoholic beer. And this continues to grow typically in the markets like Germany, Spain, and even you talk about Japan. There the alcohol-free beers are very much prominent, and the market is growing. The insights from Mintel, Euromonitor has been talking about that the lot of opportunity spaces there for markets like Poland, Russia, maybe more of the emerging markets. And India, I would say, is not far off. It's still catching on. And we do see in India some of these non-alcoholic brands coming or being surfaced out. We do have the large players like the Heineken 0.0, Budweiser 0.0 already there on the shelf. Apart from them, the local players like the Koolbergs are also being seen on the retail outlet. In India, we do see that there is a certain percentage of consumer who is really looking forward for such type of innovation. And according to Mintel, it's been very clearly called out that 30%, 38% of Indians would like to occasionally switch to having a low or a no alcoholic beer. And within the age group of 25 to 34, they say 41% of the young beer drinkers would like to switch, primarily being conscious about their health and mindful drinking. So it appears to me that there is a potential for the brewers to innovate and extend their platform from the regular beers to also offer options to the consumer around or build the occasion of consumptions more frequently for the consumers here. So I'll quickly just move on because this is, I would say, is more of a repetition about how the markets are evolving, and that the good news is that today we do have solutions for the non-alcoholic beer which would replicate or mimic the same taste of alcohol, give you same, the mouth feel, but it's alcohol free. There has been this dilemma, of course, for the manufacturers as to how do you position this product. And we have been in conversation with some of the microbreweries as well as the big players talking about that they do have these insights and they do see that this is an opportunity space for them, but then they are not very clear as to how do you position this product. And when it comes to the position, there are some of the insights that have come up is that you could possibly look at having it as an alternate to alcoholic beer, or you could also bring in the inclusiveness because that's what the consumers are looking at. They do not want to be left out, and also position them more against the CSDs because consumers are not looking at more sugary stuff. So these could be some of the offerings that the beverage companies can look at to give the very convenient and a very happy experience to the consumers. With that, I would quickly dive into the SmartBev solutions that Christian Hansen has here to offer. And this is the age of smartness, smartphones, and all those things. So here we come with SmartBev solutions. One of the first solution that I would like to drive in is our solution for the low or no alcohol beer. So today in India, the food safety authorities have also very clearly called out the regulation as to in what percentage of alcohol can you categorize into low or no alcoholic beer, which is that's 0.05 to 0.00. So between that range, in that spectrum, you could actually work out, and Christian Hansen can support you with the solution to come to a level of 0.0 as well, right? And if you would like to taste the samples, please come over to the stall. We have some great samples for you to taste the 0.0 alcoholic beer. We also have for the regular beer, we do have the yeast management solution, which is the most high quality and high purity yeast for the lager as well as for the ale. I do also hear a lot of buzz around the sour beer, and then we do have solutions for sour beer with our freeze-dried solutions of Harvest LB, which could help you to control your acidity as well as help you to reduce your fermentation time. So that's a nutshell. We have the frozen liquid yeast which is the need for low or no alcoholic beer. Then we have the TUM strains for ale and the lager, and the freeze-dried strains for your sour beer. We all know that fermentation is the core, and everything around us is all about fermentation, be it with foods or be it with beverages. And fermentation has a very good health connotation. So we all should work towards making a world of fermentation and deriving the benefits around it. So with need that the solution that Christian Hansen has for the low or no alcoholic beer, it's primarily, it gives you the complete mouthfeel of the regular beer, except that it doesn't have the alcohol into it. And it is also a very fast fermentation, so it helps you to reduce your fermentation times, thus builds in efficiency around it. And then today, what you, since typically for producing a non-alcoholic beer, you would like to go through a stripping technology or a de-alcoholization stuff which would require high capex, but with our solution, you can do away with the capex investment. And then last but not the least, with the need technology to achieve a 0.0 percentage, you could actually save a lot on your raw materials as well. If you are interested more onto the details on the technicalities, please stop over to our stall, and my colleagues out there would surely help you to give you a little more deeper download. When it comes to the frozen yeast for the regular beer, I think that's one area where we would like to take away the headache for you of, going into the pitching part of it or going into the propagation, and come up with this, help you to cultivate a very consistent product quality with the TUM solutions. And here also, Christian Hansen has been for, as I mentioned, 150 years old company. So we have very strong strength handling the frozen technology. With the frozen technology and the strength right from the factory to your factory, Christian Hansen factory or the warehouse, complete cold chain will be managed by Christian Hansen and also help you in the storage part of it. So you just don't have to, you can be absolutely mind free when it comes to handling the frozen solutions. As mentioned, for the liquid yeast, it would surely help you to save minimum of 5 to 18 days of time because of the reducing the complexities, and helps you in expediting your planning and the workflow, brings in a lot of flexibility, and at the same time ensures the consistent production. As I mentioned earlier, these are the strains that we have got it from the research center of Weinstephan from Germany. Last not the least, as I mentioned, we also have solution for the sour beer. So you have this lactic acid bacteria, Lactobacillus plantarum, which would help you to bring down your pH from 5.5 to 3.5 in 16 hours. And this is a freeze-dried format, so you direct inoculation, and of course helps you to maintain your efficiency as well as your product consistency. So those who are interested with the solutions of Christian Hansen for the SmartBev, please reach out to us. My colleagues at the stall will help you and deep dive further in sharing with you the science behind it as well as the technology. We are based out of Mumbai. Most welcome if you're flying into Mumbai or if you're in and around Mumbai to drop into our office for deeper conversations. Thank you for listening to Christian Hansen, and cheers, and many more innovations that we would look forward from the world-class brewers sitting out in this auditorium. Thank you.
May I kindly request you to stay on stage? We'd really like to give you a souvenir of participation. We appreciate you taking the time and the effort to come here and talk to everybody. So I call upon Jency to please hand over the souvenir.
So the next presentation that we have